Next, let's queer up trans rights. Thousands rally in D.C. at National Trans Visibility March. This week, supporters of transgender and non-binary people, along with their allies, gathered in Washington, D.C. for the National Trans Visibility March. The event, held annually since 2019, focused on increasing trans visibility in both politics and society. Participants emphasized the importance of supporting pro-trans politicians, contacting elected officials, and engaging in grassroots campaigns. This year's march also highlighted the intersection of HIV prevention and broader social justice issues. Advocates called for comprehensive sex education and culturally competent trans-inclusive healthcare services. Starting at noon at the Human Rights Campaign headquarters, marchers held signs that said, "Trans rights are human rights. Protect trans siblings, and trans lives matter." The march concluded at the HRC headquarters, after which the participants enjoyed a post-march party at the Moxy Hotel. Notable speakers at the march included Hope Giselle, Kelley Robinson, Elijah Nicholas, Ollie Henry, Iya Dammons, Louise Shackelford, and Lee Blender. Hope Giselle, who is the president of the National Trans Visibility March, honored Kelley Robinson, president of the Human Rights Campaign, with a Torch Award during the event. This award recognizes individuals whose work has significantly impacted the lives of transgender, gender non-conforming, and non-binary communities nationwide. This year's National Trans Visibility March holds great significance as it occurred against the backdrop of ongoing legislative attacks on the transgender community. According to translegislation.com, a record 642 anti-trans bills were considered across 42 states this year, with 45 successfully passed. Well, this is a good news story on the backdrop of a bad news story. Mm-hmm. So how amazing that they have this that the trans community has this march in Washington. Mm-hmm. Because as we know, it's again, visibility, representation matters, and showing up. It harkens back to when the African Americans marched on Washington, the gay march on Washington. So this is the next big step, I believe, for the trans community, and so important for us to continue to stand up as allies. Yeah. So important.
Yeah.
And I'm so happy to see as many people as I saw, through that video show up to the march and to make their voices known or heard, during this time, this election time in DC, to let them know that, listen, we need you guys as well. We also are a community that need your allyship, that need you guys to get out here and vote. I'm bringing it back.
Right. And vote.
I'm bringing it back.
That's the theme of the day.
Bringing it back, yeah.
Oh my God, like Dale read that 45 bills actually were passed, and there were hundreds that were attempted.
Was it 642?
There were over 600 bills that were attempted against. And nobody has been targeted more than our LGBTQ plus kids and our trans siblings. Okay, no one has. So. I can't speak for a trans person, but I know that for me as a woman, when I see a lesbian march or something like that, I feel seen. I feel counted. Yeah. Right? And for allies, I wish that march would have been there, would have been here, because we would have been in that march for, because it's not just a trans march. It is for people who also are allies to the trans community, which should be all of us.
Right. Yeah. Hello.
Yeah.
Which should be all of us. And I always go back to that little queer kid, right? That doesn't see themselves represented or thinks that their governor hates them, right? And then they see a parade that people just like them are in this parade, and they're like, okay, I matter. I am enough.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, it goes back to, I think about my childhood, and the previous story that I was talking about with the women's suffrage. It's, I remember watching programs as a kid and, Golden Girls and Designing Women and, and the struggles that, women had that portrayed through those type of stories, and it resonated so well with me. So, always going through my gay life and stuff, and then exploring, and learning about the trans community, I've always been a person that's really rooted for the underdog, and it always resonated with me because it was just something that I knew for myself. I didn't want anyone else to feel less than, and I didn't want anybody else to go through the pain and suffering that I went through. So, if you can't support another a marginalized community, then, who are you as a person?
What kind of a human are you?
Yeah.
Because at the end, it's just human. It really is just human rights that we're asking for. We're not asking for something out of the ordinary. Right. The trans community is not asking for anything.
No special
I need a rocket ship right now because I'm trans. That's not what they're asking for. They just want.
They don't want their health care taken away.
Dignity.
I mean,
they want healthcare providers to freaking know about trans issues. That's not a lot to ask for. If I went to a gynecologist, spread eagle, and the person is like, oh, I don't know what to do with this, I'd be like, oh, no. You know what I mean? I mean, that shouldn't be something that they should have to fight for, and it is.
And we bring it all the way back to autonomy and misogyny. Autonomy over the body and misogyny. Misogyny is rooted in transphobia, homophobia, and also it's all about the autonomy over the body. You can't do what you want with your own body, And that is politicized, which brings it back to voting. Right. Bring it back to voting, bringing it back to taking care of your body and taking back the power that rests within your body for women, for trans folks, for all of us, just to continue to experience our own humanness. That's all. That's it.
I agree.